What's up, you guys? I am so happy to be sitting here and talking to you. Once again, I know it's been a while. Like the last time I did like a full on just me here talking and listing you some things that I've learned was when I did my What's in My Phone video. If you haven't seen that, I've linked it below. It was great because I can just be here, sit here and be myself. I'm out of breath, but I'm excited to do this episode on YouTube because I started doing it on TikTok and it really like resonated well with a lot of people. I feel like people just want to share the good and funny things about pregnancy, nothing that is bad. So I'm here. No, I don't want to. My goal is to not put you off getting pregnant or the whole pregnancy issue. You have to be aware because I had a similar story happen with me when I did my boob job, and I talked to a couple of my friends who went to the same guy to do a boob job. And I said, how was it? Tell me the pros, tell me the cons, like what should I expect? And they were like, oh, it's so easy. You're gonna do this, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna go home right away. And no, I didn't go home. Like I was suffering. There were things that I wasn't ready, I wasn't prepared, and nobody told me about this. Just wake up, you look at your boobs, you love them, and you forget about it. And the same thing happens with pregnancy, actually. You go through such difficult times that when you do have your baby, you just forget about everything. And it's really important to write your feelings and emotions down, but you forget, and then you're like, whoa, come up front with them, and you're like, why didn't I ever remember this? But that's why I'm writing everything down, I'm sharing it. I want to share it with you because I learned it this way. Yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys just so you are aware. This is my first pregnancy, it's my first child. I'm learning, I'm in the same boat. I'm trying not to research a lot, and I would recommend the same. Don't Google, please don't Google things because that will scare you. People are just so dramatic as they are in Google, as they are in life. So I'm learning, and my goal is to just share it and be super transparent. So I've written down a list, and yeah, basically this is 15 things people don't tell you or talk about when you're pregnant.
Pregnant? What? There's one?
Okay, let's start with the first thing. First thing is nausea. And I know everybody knows you get nausea when you're pregnant, but it's always the morning sickness. And if you're having a girl, you get nausea in the morning. No, the nausea does last all day, sometimes all night, sometimes 24 hours. There've been cases where I know a girl who's just been sitting crouched down with a pillow besides her toilet, and she couldn't stand up, she couldn't eat. And my nausea was mostly in the morning, I'd say 80%, but sometimes I would have dinner, which would be super chill, like a salad or chicken breast, and I would throw the whole thing up, and it's disgusting. Like, you don't know where it comes from, it just hits you out of nowhere, and it's not like I had certain food aversions. I would eat normal things that I craved or wanted, and then I would throw up everything. And once you start throwing up, you throw up to the very end. Like, there's absolutely not even a drop of or piece of food left in your stomach because you throw up everything, and it's such a horrible feeling. Oh yeah. In the mornings, it would be hard because when you do throw up, you can't even drink water because when you drink water, you want to throw up that water. So it's just, you can't do anything. And if you're someone who's going through this or doesn't want to, I would say prevent it by having like these ginger gummy bears. They're very easy to find on Amazon or in your local like organic grocery store. They're these like ginger gummy bears against nausea, or I would say Gatorade always helped me. You can have Gatorade or electrolytes, like Electrolyte or something. I don't know what it's called. That or Powerade. That really helped me to keep down, stay hydrated and keep it down. and just have like crackers by your side, just normal like salty crackers, nothing too crazy, just so you wake up, you have this, and you're done. Because if I didn't eat within like the first 20 minutes since I woke up, maybe even 15 minutes, I would have nausea right away. So just have those crackers, grab like the Powerade, sip on it a little bit, and then you'll be good, hopefully. But yeah, that's the thing that I learned that really helps. Second thing, I know I'm jumping to the really like extreme one right now, which was one of the worst. I mean, all of them were really like, were a lot on me, but this one was crazy. Hemorrhoids and varicose veins. Varicose veins, of course, are also genetic, but my mom had very prominent veins on her legs when she was young, and it comes from like walking on heels, or yeah, usually like wearing heels a lot. And I had veins that were more prominent than like a mid 20 something person should have. But since pregnancy, my left leg, it was crazy. Like the right one still stayed the same-ish, but the left leg developed such huge veins that I was like, whoa. Apparently, they're supposed to go away when you give birth, but I'm not sure. Because when I wear shorts or a skirt or a dress, it looks like I have a bruise. Like that's how bad it is. And it was always something I wanted to work on and kind of get like, not a surgery, but yes, something to fix this. But now it's even worse. I'm trying not to like overthink about it or just be sad about it, because it's like, okay, I'm pregnant, this is what I have to deal with. But it does bother me to a certain point. I'm better at it now because I just learned to accept it. But at one point I was like, oh, this is a lot. So that is something that happens, and if you have it genetically, or the women in your family have it, just know that it will get worse and you will have that too, and it's fine. We can see if it goes away. If it doesn't, we'll make something happen out of it. The next thing was hemorrhoids. What I said was, it was crazy because it came out of nowhere. I never had it before. Yeah, if you don't know what hemorrhoids are, it's like blood vessels in your anus that pop due to constipation. A lot of pressure usually happens like later, because a lot of pressure on your hips and a lot of weight carrying. So when you go to the bathroom, when you pass stool, the veins, the blood vessels, the vessels actually pop, and then you get these like bulges around or inside your anus. It is horrible. It is really painful. Some women can't even sit. They need a special pillow. I had it for like maybe 2.5 to 3 weeks. It took a really long time, maybe 3 weeks actually, for it to go away. And you can only use like special, just like organic special creams that I got in the pharmacy. And you put the cream up your butt. Basically, you just deal with it. You can't really take so much medicine, which is crazy. The healing is hard, and that drove me nuts because I don't want to dive way too deep into it. I mean, I am an open book, which is, you guys are lucky, but yeah, like even just, walking around, panties on, like everything was just bothering me. It hurt, and you're just not in the mood, and yeah. Number 3, the glucose test. I didn't even know that it was a really important part of your pregnancy to do the glucose test. A lot of women find out a lot about themselves, and if your glucose levels are low or too high, you have to inject or go through a specific procedure, which is like a lot on you and your body. Luckily, everything was okay for me, but the glucose test itself is horrible. You should really be careful about it and see if it is within your family. To tell you about the glucose test that I did, so on top of the fact that you already have nausea and morning sickness, you have to go to your gynecologist, to the doctor in the morning when you didn't eat. So you're feeling sick already, let's just keep it out there. And you go there and you have to drink this drink, I did the glucose test twice because the first time my glucose was a bit higher than usual, so they got nervous, and then I had to go and redo everything, and it was fine after. And then the second time I actually saw how much and what I was drinking. The bottle you get of the sugar, the glucose that's inside, it has 60% filled with powder, which is sugar. Just the bottle itself has like 60% of powder. And then you mix water into this whole bottle of powder, because I thought, oh, they're gonna separate it. No, you're drinking this whole bottle of powder. You mix water into there, and then they give it to you, and they're like, here you go, drink, finish everything. And when I tell you, it is the sweetest thing I've ever tasted in my whole entire life. It is like drinking syrup out of a bottle directly. Probably syrup would be better. It is so disgusting, and because you're already nauseous, you didn't eat anything. You're in the clinic or hospital or wherever with the doctor, and you drink this huge glass of just powdered sugar. Some women do throw up. I felt so sick and nauseous. I was burping the whole time. Then they wanted to measure if I was contracting or not, to lie down for like 10 minutes in a room, and all this syrup is coming up, and I have to like keep it down, and it is disgusting. I don't even know. I don't even have advice. How do you prepare for that? Just know it sucks and it's so bad. Number 4, body change and how it affected me mentally. This was really hard. It comes and goes, but for me it was more in the beginning of my pregnancy, because my job is a full-time model, and I work out, I take care of my body, I take care of how I look, because this is what the industry and my clients expect from me. So when I work out, I have to look a specific way, have my six-pack and my legs and no cellulite and this, and it's very superficial. And it's very, like, of course women have their flaws, but we're meant not to have flaws. And when I was so like good at exercising and getting used to my body looking the way I did look, and now all of a sudden it's changing, it's not so easy to adjust. And every morning you see yourself and you're like, oh, now I don't have my abs, and oh, like I look chubbier and this, and it's a change. And sadly, your brain and mentally just you can't control it. It just goes on its own spiral. And I even posted a TikTok about it when I was like crying, because I'm like, I don't even know why, but it's like it's so hard for me, because from the time of you finding out you're pregnant to reaching the point where you feel comfortable and you can now tell people officially, you don't look pregnant, but your whole life changed. From the minute you find out you're pregnant, your whole life changes. And the fact that you can't tell people is already hard. And then your body starts changing, depending, every woman is different, but for me it was like around 2 months. 2 months? Yeah. Around 2.5 months, I could already see a little stomach growing, and it was very normal. Nobody like from the outside could notice. Like my friends who know my body, of course, they noticed a little. But to me, I remember I had a job and I went to LA, and this was the time period when I told my closest friends. And I had a job where I was shooting like tight dresses, and you could see it. I just looked bloated. But of course, my clients don't expect me to be bloated. They want me to look slim. They want me to sell the dress. And I had to suck in my belly the whole time I was working. And it for 8 hours, that was a lot, because I was actually pregnant and I was going through all these like symptoms and emotions. And I was like, damn, like I have to suck it in. They don't know I'm pregnant. I don't want to share it yet. It's like not like a safe period of time to share it. So that did take a toll on me. And then at one point you do stop working because you were bigger. And then you can't even do maternity jobs, because maternity jobs usually only want you after 6 months, because that's when your belly is big. And my belly just started popping out, and I'm 6.5 months. So this whole time period of this big change and you accepting how your body is growing is really, really hard. And I was very emotional, and I was like, I'm not working anymore. And mentally, I just had to get used to myself and my physique and accept myself and love myself, which I was trying to, but it's normal to feel that way, and it does take time, and it's okay if it takes longer. Or some women are like, yeah, I don't need to work, I'm out of it, like I'm good, they're chilling. But if you're going through this and you're finding it hard, like it's totally normal, because we go from looking one way to a total opposite, and that's okay to feel a certain way about it. So with all of that, of course, you're going through such a big change, which leads me to my number 5, change in sex drive. It is so hard to feel sexy and feel like you're wanted by your partner. Even though my partner was telling me how good I look and he loved seeing me pregnant and all of the changes that you're going through, like most of the time your partner loves it, but because it's all in here, you don't feel sexy, you don't feel like it's right, you don't feel like it's true, your emotions are everywhere. You're like, why are you lying? I look fat. And that was me. Don't be scared or don't be embarrassed or ashamed that your sex drive changes, because just be open with your partner and talk to him about it, or her. I was like, look, I can't help it, I feel this way and I appreciate you making me feel good and giving me compliments all the time, but this is just how I feel and this is a phase, I know, because now I feel great. Like, I'm like, look at me, hey, I'm sexy. But I think being like open in your relationship and how you're feeling is so important, because you don't understand it, and how do you expect your partner to understand you if you're not open about it, if you're not honest about your feelings, if you just think it's all in your head, and then you expect your partner to be there for you and understand what you're going through. It's like they're like, we don't know what's happening. One thing that I could, give a tip on that is that I can't tell you anything that will help you in feeling confident and perfect. Like, this is all your learning experience and what you have to go through. We won't be open and honest about it and talk about it openly, because it is totally normal. Number 6 is feeling lonely. Even though I wasn't lonely, I had my partner, I had my friends, I felt like everyone was turning their back on me, and this was a really sad low point during this whole pregnancy, because I have a lot of best friends and girlfriends that are the closest to me in LA. My parents are in Russia. So I just felt like, because I'm going through such a change, of course nobody understands what I'm going through, and because I wasn't open about like calling them and saying like, this is how I feel, this is my changes, these are my emotions, like they didn't know, like their life continues the way it was, it's just you that's changed. So again, I could have changed it, called them and be more open and be like, I need you, I need to talk to you more often, or this is how I feel, but I didn't say it. So for some reason I expected, everyone to, since they found I was pregnant, to like check up on me even more, and like I can't expect that. But I did feel lonely because I felt like it was a big change, especially, it's a good change in the end. Like now I'm so zen with, the people who stayed in my life, the people who I gained after, being pregnant, because they are learning something from me and I made like these better connections. And the people who were fake, who I didn't need in my life, who just had me in their life for a specific reason, because if you're from the US, LA especially, it's so fake sometimes, and everyone just wants you for something. So whatever it may be that they wanted me for, they lost that, because when I'm pregnant now, and then they're just like, okay, well, who cares about her? She's pregnant. Like, but that was crazy to me, because I was like, I thought you were my friend. Anyways, this whole thought process, your circle of friends change. You see who was there for you, who's fake friends, real friends, and it's like, it's all a lot, and it just overwhelming. But just know, end case scenario is that it's all gonna be worth it, and you're gonna feel so good. And now I'm like, you know what? I never needed them. Like, cool. I'm good. Like, I have to focus on my kid, growing a human, raising a good human. Number 7. This one's funny. It's blocked nose. Blocked nose. You could tell in the beginning of this video I was out of breath, but it's just hard for me to breathe. Like, I don't know when it started. It probably started like right away, 3 months, that my nose, it's hard for me to breathe. Of course, you are supplying oxygen for 2 people now. Your blood vessels are thinner, and it's hard. It gets hard on your body. It's not used to supplying oxygen for more than 1 person. Don't use the nose spray for more than 2 weeks, and I've been using it for months now. But honestly, girl, if you need that nose spray, you're dealing with so much. I talked to my gynecologist and I was like, hey, like it's been 2 months. I'm still using the nose spray. Now, it's been more, like it goes on and off. And she's like, do you? Like, if you need to use the nose spray, just use it because you're going through so much in your body. And trust me, I'm so uncomfortable sometimes that if I can't breathe 100% on top of it, I'm just like irritative. I hate everything. I hate myself. I hate that I can't breathe. And the last thing I want to be like, oh, but the doctor told me, or the packaging said, don't use it more than, a week. I'm using this. I'm using a kid's nose spray. It's not that hard or harsh. So if you have to, do what you gotta do to feel better. Like, it's not gonna affect the baby in a bad way. Like, I promise. Like, my gynecologist said it's all good to use it. Did I know that? I didn't. Number 8, baby kicks. They're not always amazing. Every time I talk to a woman, oh, feel my baby moving, it's so cute, feel it, like it's always so nice. It's not nice. I'm sorry, but they don't feel good. And why are you lying to everybody? Because I know for a fact you don't feel 100% good about it. Like, the baby kicks are cute when you experience it the first time. You're like, whoa. When I experienced her kicking the first time, it was on my birthday. I didn't go to the doctor for a minute, and I was like, I feel a bit worried or concerned. Like, I would love to see her on the ultrasound. And then on my birthday, she kicked for the first time, and I felt amazing. Okay, cute. Sometimes I'm really grateful she kicks because it's a reminder that everything's okay. Yes, I get that part too. Are they always amazing and cute and I feel good? No, it feels like someone's gonna come out of there, which is true. Like, rip your whole stomach out, and she's kicking my ribs and she's getting on my nerve. Like, 3 days ago, I had a scare because I started contracting all of a sudden, and I couldn't move and I was in so much pain, and I stood under a warm shower for 20 minutes and I felt better. And most likely she was just hitting my nerve because she was like bumping and it was like getting my nerve. And when she lies horizontally, like, it's crazy. At 5 or 2 in the morning or 5 in the morning, when she's trying to twist and turn and your whole stomach is going like this, it's not cute. There's nothing about that that's cute. So what? So why are you lying? But yeah, I do go through phases. Not phases. I have the understanding that it's great, and I'm really grateful and I'm happy. I'm not gonna lie and say like it's the cutest thing ever. No, it sucks. Leading to number 9. Hip growth. I went to dance class in LA, and there was a lady who came up to me and she was like, is this your first kid? And I said yes. And she said, you're having a girl, right? And I was like, yeah. Trust me when I tell you 95% of people thought I was having a boy, me included. I was like 200% sure. And I was like, yes. And she's like, I have 2 of my own. I just know when I see a woman. And I was like, what about me said that I'm having a kid? And she was like, well, first of all, your hips. Did your hips? Oh, she said my belly, how it looks. That's how she knew. And I was like, okay. Like, I've heard that one, like round, pointy, how it's placed. And she said, did your hips grow like outwards, like wider, or like this way? And I said, wider. Like, that's something I didn't know. I thought like your hips get prepared, and yes, you will gain a little weight, but like they don't stop growing. I was a 96 centimeter hip. That's 34 inches. And now I'm last time I checked, which was like a month ago, I was 102 centimeters, probably bigger now. I would say I'm like a 38 inch, I don't know. I'm just guessing with inches because I know centimeters, but I would wear like my pants that are huge, like very oversized, and you wear them low-waisted and they would feel tight on my thighs, and I'm like, damn, like that's crazy. And your body just like automatically, like I have cellulite, so I've been tackling that all my life, and I have to be like really strict with workout, diet, water, everything, massages. So now it's even worse, and I'm trying to stick to like lymphatic drainage massages and drinking, and I'm working out and I'm staying active. Like from here to here, I look like I'm not pregnant. Then you see my belly, of course, then my hips are affected because they're growing so wide. And then my body, like my legs are fine. They're not swollen. My ankles are normal. So it's crazy that your hips just go so wide, and it's really hard to find jeans. Like being a 24, 25 jean, I can easily wear a 30 now, low-waisted. Anyways, moving on to number 10. Number 10 is toxoplasmosis. Who the hell didn't ever say that to me? Because as an animal lover, I mean, I love animals. I want to be around animals all the time. And I went to LA and I stayed with my girlfriends who have a dog and a cat. And I was like on cloud nine. I was like, I love it here. I'm going to be cuddling with them. The cat kept coming into my room, into my bed. And then my manager one day, she was like, Sohni, like, do you know about toxoplasmosis, right? And I was like, I heard about it. But then I started reading about it. I called my doula. I texted my midwife and they were like, be careful, avoid cats, just to be safe. Basically, toxoplasmosis is something that your baby can get. It's very serious. It's mostly with cats you don't know, cats that have been outside, like just I wouldn't touch any cats that you see outside because toxoplasmosis comes from their feces, and when they go into the litter box or they go outside, they carry on their paws, then it comes on your bed, then you touch them, then you might like pick your tooth, and that's it, you get it. So it is easy, it is, you don't know how to prevent it really unless the cat is inside a lot, but still, they still have the litter box. It's just something you don't want to mess with. It is difficult on the baby. You can lose the baby. I've read and heard of cases of that happened. So that was really hard for me. I was like, I'm so sorry to the cat. I couldn't cuddle with them. I couldn't do anything. And damn, I wish I knew. I mean, wouldn't have changed anything. I'm just kidding. But just know, because that is a thing. Okay, number 11. People touching your belly. Suddenly you feel like you're becoming public property. Who thinks it's okay? Because like I am okay with my friends and my family, people who I know, love and trust touching my belly, but like I've had strangers in the airport. This was the craziest. I came to this lady at the airport in Berlin and I was like, hi, I'm looking for the Lufthansa, like this airline stand counter. And she was like, can I touch your belly? And she was already touching it. And I was like, and I'm just I'm not a mean person, and it's so hard for me to say no, but I was like, what? Like, that's crazy. No one touches your belly before you're pregnant. So why now? Like, there's no point. And it just feels weird because once you are pregnant, you realize that. And maybe some women are not affected and they like it, but I'm certainly like weirded out, especially men. They're like, oh wow. And I'm like, no. Number 12, leaking cholesterol around week 26 already, personally for me. But like, this was crazy because I knew I was leaking cholesterol because your nipples and your breasts hurt a lot, which I will get to that point. I would just like massage it and then I would press my nipples. I don't know why, but you're gonna test everything out. And cholesterol looks like just yellow substance coming out of your nipples. So this is before production of milk. Your body's getting ready to, produce milk. And I was like, whoa, what the hell is that? And it was like, okay, this is something that's happening, accepted, moving on, didn't bother me. But we were at dinner in LA and I was wearing a white shirt and I wore nipple covers. And by the end of dinner, I was going outside and I kind of like rubbed my hand here and it was wet. And then I looked and I was fully wet under here, like under the nipple cover, because I produced so much cholesterol was coming and I was sweating a lot. It like leaked through my nipple cover and I was wet and I was like, oh my God, guys, like it's already happening. I knew this would happen by the end of your pregnancy, but not halfway through. So that is something to keep in mind. Maybe do get these like nipple covers, patches, especially designed when you start breastfeeding, like earlier enough if you want to just like prevent it and not be like walking around like, whoa, what the hell? But we all like laughed about it. Everyone was like, that's cool. And then moving on. Leading to number 13, nipples and breasts get so freaking sore. This is the first symptom for me, for most of like my friends that I've talked to, that your breasts get sore, but they get insanely sore. Like I couldn't even touch them forget underwire bras. Like, make sure you have, my go-to right now is Skims bras that I love. They have no underwire, like cotton bras that I wear, and they're so soft. I've said bye to push-ups. Push-ups? Hell no. Like, your breasts are so big now. I'm not even getting like actual nice bras anymore, because I'm just getting like these nursing or feeding bras, or just the cotton bras. They're stretchable and breathable and nice, because it's so sore. Like, I would stand under the shower, and if it hit my breast, like, I would be like, oh my god, like, it was so sore. Don't touch it. Don't look at it, nothing. That is crazy. So yeah, I'm kind of scared to breastfeed, because I know that will hurt a lot. Number 14, how hard it is actually to use your core. Did you know that when you get pregnant, the bigger your belly gets, your abs, they move to the side. So your abs, that's why it's really important to do correct exercises for the abs when you're pregnant. Just like research about it, because you don't want to train something that's not there, and you want it to grow back the right way after pregnancy. So you completely lose your core that you've been with and working on your whole life. And me, I had like a 6-pack on a good day. On a bad day, maybe a 4. And my core was so strong, stronger than usual, and stronger than a lot of normal, just stronger. Stronger than, normal people, because who don't work out as much as I do. That's what I wanted to say. And then losing it completely, like, if you are lean too far back, you can't even like activate this, because this is just, the baby's there, it's just skin and tissue, and you're like, whoa, can't do like normal things, getting in and out of the car. There's so much activity. You use your core so much more than you realize, so it really like messes with your brain, like, oh my god, I can't do these things. And of course, the bigger you get, the harder. I'm at that point now where I need help from my partner to push me out of the couch and out of bed. But it is funny, it is interesting, it does mess with your mind for a bit. That is crazy. I didn't know this was happening. I discovered all of this later, so now you know from me. And lastly, number 15, nesting instinct. This is not particularly a bad thing. I just like wish I knew it before. Like, nobody's ever said that. You get into this nesting mom instinct mode right away. Like, actually, before I found out I was pregnant, my partner Sebastian, he was like, when I did the test, I was like, I'm pregnant. He's like, I knew you were pregnant, because the last days I was researching furniture and things on how to improve and what to improve in the apartment. And he's like, you wanted to change everything, you wanted to fix things. And he's like, this is weird, like something's happening. This activates so fast, and this is like your first like, okay, I'm pregnant. Now, 3rd trimester that I'm in, I am like, it gets to the point where it gets annoying. I'm like, there's nothing to fix. I don't want to do it anymore, but you keep finding nice things and Amazon aesthetics and ice cubes and the things that I'm ordering and doing. It's obviously great, and he loves to see that. He's like, you're such a mom, and I love seeing that side of you, which is great. But yeah, we have a lot of Amazon packages. If you are looking for big motivation to renovate, decorate your house and make it better, just get pregnant, because this will come easy. You will enjoy it, you will love it, and your partner will love it too. I'll leave you with that. No, I'm kidding. And to finish the video off, pregnancy is an amazing thing. I'm really happy and I'm really grateful, and I'm at the point now where I'm enjoying my body. But to say that it doesn't come like a roller coaster is just a lie. Like, you have to go through your own battles and struggles, and you have to talk about things, and you have to cry, and you have to hate yourself, and you have to overthink everything and question, why am I doing this? And it's totally normal. And just know you're not alone, because I wanted to share this so you guys know that it is not easy. You're not alone if you're feeling this way. So for everyone who wants to, is trying to, of course, weigh all your options, think about everything. It's good to be prepared and know everything to the core. But in the end of the day, I've transformed into a woman. I'm going to be a mom, and this is such an amazing feeling, and I can't wait to meet my baby girl, because it's just crazy. You're just growing a human. You and your person you love the most in this world create someone together, and it's just amazing. So I do understand how when you give birth and you see your kid, you forget about everything, but I don't want to forget. I want to live through all the emotions. I want to be aware of what I felt. and what I was feeling, and I do want to share it with you guys. I hope this video helped. If you did like watching it and you want to add some of your experiences, I would love to read through. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe. Always appreciate it. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye.
I was never the